So you've done the self-help and you've dipped into some personal development, but now you ask the question, now what? What can you do? Well, if you want to escape the apathy, step right this way. So twice a year, I teach a course called AUTONOMY. It's a 12-week personal development and training course. What people get out of it is multifaceted. There's curriculum, there's exercises, there's camaraderie, you make new friends. There's a whole lot of interesting things. We're going to hear a sample from the course right now in its ongoing season. Let's take a look at the value these students are getting. Howdy, good morning.
Richard, how are you?
I'm doing wonderfully well. How are you doing?
I'm nice and overwhelmed.
Oh, excellent. Well, that's a good place to be. This
Yeah.
this course is all about overwhelm and then learning how to manage that and then harnessing it and using it as your power source.
Well, no disappointments so far. So I'm in the misty nebulousness of in between chapters of my life in
Hmm.
on pretty much every level. So I no longer want to be doing what I am doing, what I've been doing for a few years. And there's actually an expiration date on that. So
Okay.
I'm currently exploring what my next options look like. And basically, I have a lot of experience, personal experience from my 10 plus years of my own health journey that's led me into holistic health and wellness. And my perspective of all that has kind of evolved quite a bit over the
Sure.
time. And I have letters after my name that I could use that I find pretty useless, so I don't. um, so basically, what I'm would like your thoughts on is what I don't have is content created and archives and blogs and all kinds of stuff, per se written down. But I have, I think, a lot to offer people that could help. And I'm wondering really, do you think it's possible to have like a consultancy situation without 10 years of content and a social media presence and anything like that?
Yes. You want more than a one-word answer though, right?
I'll take more.
All right. So yeah, it's definitely possible. And even if you don't have this big repertoire that everyone else might have in that area, at the end of the day, somebody's going to have a problem. They're not going to know how to solve it. And if somebody knows that you can solve that problem, you can get connected, and they're not going to be going to look to see what's your blog history. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
at the fundamental level, you have to have skills that are known by somebody who knows somebody who needs them, or you need to be able to put yourself together with those people without the middleman or middlewoman, right? Um, so if you're hoping to be found by Google SEO, then you need some of that stuff because that actually plays into your rankings. It also plays into when people are looking at Google, they're going to want to compare. They're opening 4 tabs and they're going to look at everyone's sites. And if yours impresses them, they keep the tab open. And if not, they close it. Right. So then that's a different type of competition. But there's a way that you could go and transition into a new market space without advertising or all this other stuff set up. You're going to need it at some point, but you could get started just by talking to your friends and saying, I'm thinking about trying this. Do and what are the downsides you see? And they'll tell you because that's what they instantly see. Oh, you shouldn't do that. That's risky. And here's the scarcity mindset, all these things. And you're like, okay, great. Now, do you know anyone who would need this service? Oh, yeah, actually, I do, but they don't have any money. Great. I would be willing to work with them on spec in exchange for a testimonial because this is one of the things I know can help me get business readily when other people see that you've solved problems like the ones they have, right? So it's pretty simple stuff, and it doesn't have to be overly complex. And if you think about, you want to make your public presence known, so you would have some articles, some vlogs, some other things that you can have that are kind of like staple posts of these things, but you don't need a lot of depth to it. You just need to answer the questions that are in the minds of the prospective clients, and then they could see you as a trusted resource from which they could learn and maybe spend some money solving their problem or not. And you give them that opportunity in between seeing the ad for your free thing, 10 things you should know about blank before you engage in it. And a lot of people who are conscious people, they see something like that. I see something like that and I think, oh, I should know that before I make this purchasing decision. So I download it. I check that out. But now this person is educating me and they're going to send me an email the next day. And I read that. Like, this makes sense too. All these other websites that haven't interacted with me yet, they're not sending me. I'm not being educated by them. So there's an opportunity for you to take a leadership position in the mind of somebody who has that problem or seeks that result, but you actually have to be able to perform that service and deliver that thing. And then you have a salient equation that, it's like buoyancy for the boat. If you make the offer, that's like having the boat, but you don't have the skill, that's like having a hole in the boat. So the boat's going to sink. So we want to make sure that you have what you're offering, and that's good, and that it matches up with what their problem or sought result is. Does that make sense?
It does.
Can we get more specific? What is it that you're seeking to offer to the market? Do you know yet?
Everyone's doing some kind of self-help these days, and you can find a million self-help courses out there. Most other courses out there are hosting lectures. They're hosting videos, they're maybe even doing Q&As, and these are great starting points to encourage learning. But at AUTONOMY, we believe that hands-on practice is the best way to really lock in what we're learning. There's no better way to gain confidence and mastery than through action. After each lecture, we practice the concepts we've learned with other students, giving and receiving feedback in a non-judgmental environment. The result is mastery of concepts like entrepreneurship, ethical sales, and self-reliance in an environment that directly translates to the real world. Plus, you make connections with other like-minded individuals who are learning right alongside you, and you have a lifetime membership in the community. The AUTONOMY course with Richard Grove equips you with confidence, competence, and courage in a world filled with confusion and noise. You can learn more at getautonomy.info. We'll see you there.